Good morning from a very beautifully sunshiny northwest of England this morning, and I hope everyone is okay. Welcome back to my channel. This is Sam here with another little silly video of just nothing really, just faffing around with wire as we like to do. So I know you've seen on my channel quite a few times I've been left with a little bit too much wire. I'm a nightmare for doing that. So I just thought today we'd quickly run through a few ideas for how to use up your little bits that you've got left over. For me, I like to make decorative head pins because you never know when you're going to need them, and you can attach them to earrings or bracelets as little charms with little beads on and that kind of thing. And I've just grabbed out a little bit of a selection here, different gauges, different ends to them. So today we're going to go through 10 of my favourites, which I thought you guys might like to have a look at. You may have seen some of these before. As usual, my videos are designed for the beginner in mind, so I'm going to go through how I make these 10 cute little decorative head pins. Okay, so we'll go through them one by one, and I'll do them quick flash, similar to the charm earring video, which I'll put a link to up here, just very quickly, just to go through these cute guys here. Okay, so use your scraps if you can. I think it's a good idea to use up your scraps, but if you don't have any scraps, then you can use 1mm, which is 18 gauge, or you can use 0.8mm, which is 20 gauge, anything you like really, just to use up your scraps, or indeed just to make sure that the bead that you have in mind goes, the wire goes through the bead. All right, so these guys here have got a relatively decent sized hole, and this is 18 gauge, but the thinner holes, you know, the smaller holes will need a lighter gauge. Okay, so I'll stop waffling and we will go through making these cute guys. Okay, so I'll see you in a few. Righty ho team, let's get going. So it's nice, I think, to make use of your scraps and make some, you know, cute little head pins, decorative ones that you can use for all sorts of things. These will be a pair of earrings. You can use them as charms on bracelets, that kind of thing. All right, so let's go through these. So first one, number one, just a little simple hammered wire wrap loop. Okay, so just take your piece of scrap wire or whatever it is you've got, and just use whatever tools you've got. So basically wire wrap loop. So take your chain nose pliers and make a bend like so. Come in, I'm using my second step on my plier, and just a basic wire wrap loop. All right, come in with your second chain nose. You've seen me using these guys loads. These are my favourite chain nose pliers. You just wind around and around and back around like so. And then come in with your flush cutters and just tidy this bit up at the back, like so. Snip, mind your eyes, as always. I mean, I wear my glasses, but you guys protect your eyes that don't. You don't want any flying bits of copper going into your eyes. And just tighten that up, straighten this off. And then I like to just come in with my little bench block. Goodbye Glory, he's off on his wanderings. There we go, just give it a little hammer just to give it a bit of texture. And that's the first one done. Super easy, tidy things up. So that's number one. Okay, simple hammered wire wrap loop. Number two, this guy here. Really pretty and effective. So what we're doing is just making a little spiral. So come in with your length of wire with your flush cut end. I'm using the first step this time. So right at the very end of the wire, so you can't feel it, and start to make a cute little spiral, which we then continue with our chain nose pliers. So I tend to do one rotation with the wire ending about here, which is here. All right, and then you just want to make your squiggle. So you can make your squiggle how on earth you like. So just bend it over, replace your pliers, bend it like so, replace your pliers, however you like. All right, so you see, that's just replicated that. So again, I come in with my little bench block for the noisy bit. It's always very noisy, but it gives it a really nice look. So, and then obviously when you use a bench block and a hammer on a piece of wire, things can spread out a little bit and become a little misshapen, obviously. So, you know, just come in and give it a little bit of a straighten. So that's number 2. Pop those here. All right, number 3, this guy here. This is quite a cute thing to do. So again, come in with your first step and start to make your spiral. So spiral, spiral, spiral it around. Oh, you're on your way back, Glory. Hello. Okay, like so. So you have this, and then come back in with your plier, like so. And what you want to do is hold the spiral so it's facing you. You see that? And then bend your wire around, like so, over the top, like so, until you get to this point here. And then bend your wire around the bottom. So you've got something that looks like an ampersand, you know, an and sign. And then literally come in with your plier, and where the center point is, you just want to put an angle on there. It's slightly short, that one, no, but that would be all right. Okay, so that's number 3, dead easy. Number 4, super simple but very effective is this one, just your paddle. All right, so you just take your wire, again in with the bench block. We're doing a bit of hammering today, guys. I like doing a bit of hammering. And hammer carefully, and then turn it over. And then turn it over again. So this is your paddle. So by turning it over and hammering, and turning it over and hammering, you'll find that you'll keep, hopefully your wire should stay straight. If you hammer it on one side all the time, then you'll find that your wire bends round, because obviously by virtue you're hammering it in a certain direction. With my right hand, it means that my wire bends this way. If you're left-handed, it will go the opposite way. So by flipping your wire over every so often, it will help to keep the wire straight. If you get a little tiny little kink in it, just come in with your plier and just straighten things up. Dead easy. Then you'd come in with a little emery board and just give the end of it a little bit of a file so that it's not sharp, because obviously you don't want any sharp edges, do you? Unless you like that kind of thing. I'm sure there are people out there that don't mind a little bit of pain with their jewellery. Okay, so there we go. So that's our little paddle made. All right, so again, use your scraps of wire, whatever. That's number 4. All right, so I'll keep all these up here. Number 5, this cute little guy here. So we take our piece of scrap wire and we make a little loop. So I'm using the smallest increment on my plier here, and about, I don't know, about a third of the way down, I'd say, you grasp your wire and you bend it around like so, around and abouts. Okay, so we have this bit, which is this little piece underneath. Then all I tend to do is just use my fingers, use your plier, just guide it around like so. Like so. Just use the heat of your fingers, your hands, just to bring this around like so. These don't always have to be exactly the same. The fact of the matter is that these guys are handmade, so you want them to look artisan, don't you? All right, so you have this effect here. All you need to do then is to straighten the longer wire where the wires cross. So you grasp it with your plier, straighten it up as best you can, like so, so that everything is in line and straight. And then grasp this section with the flat of your chain nose plier, like so. And then you want to wrap like we're doing a wire wrap loop, essentially. So you take this wire here and we wrap it round. Super simple, like so. And then you just come in with your plier, your cutters. Again, mind your eyes, just snip. Oops. And then just straighten this guy up. And how effective is that? I mean, what you could do with this particular one is to oh, let me just straighten that up because that's annoying me. You could then come in with your little bead, like, I don't know, let's use this little blue one. You could pop a bead on here, make that into an earring, and then suspend a briolet from under here, you know, through this loop, which I think would be really effective too. It's a really nice one. I particularly like this one. So that's number 1, 2, 3, 4. That's number 5. So I'll pop that up there like so. Okay, so we're hoofing through these guys. I just wanted this video to be a nice, simple, really good one for beginners, just to have a look at various ways of making these decorative head pins. All right, so here's number 6. Simple spiral, but really effective. So bring your piece of scrap wire in, and with a flush cut end, with the first step, or indeed if you're really good with your round nose, use your round nose. I just tend to like to use these guys because they're very consistent in their sizes. So windy, windy, wind it round, and when you get to this stage, pop your plier in and just give it a kink, like so. All right, so then I come in and give it a hammer. So as you can see, the flat textured part of it, or you can leave it rounded, it's entirely up to you. So there's our little spiral. That's number 6. Let's move these guys along now. Number 7, this is a cute one. So you've got essentially like a spiral, but it's a flattened paddle, if you will. So I'll show you how to use this one. You can suspend beads, you know, from here, anything you like. So you get your bench block out again and take your piece of wire. All right, so we want to be making a paddle. So let me do that. Excuse the noise again. Noisy, but you know, an important part of this particular design is to have a little paddle going on. So just straighten it up if you need to. That'll do. Come in and give the end just a tiny little file. I always like to file the ends just because I like a bit of neatness sometimes. All right, so we have our tiny little paddle here. You can make these as wide or as tiny, you know, as thin as you want. Just have a paddle. And then what we do, instead of making a spiral sideways, we take the paddle like so with the flat side around the first step of the plier, right at the very end, and then we bend the paddle around like so. And when it gets to this kind of shape here, just come in with your pliers and put a kink in it so that it straightens everything up. All right, so there is our cute little hoop. All right, so sometimes they go round, sometimes they go pear-shaped. It's entirely up to what the wire feels like doing at the time. But again, just make lots of these. They're really, really cute and perfect for suspending a bead off here. You've got, you know, beads along here, that kind of thing. Really, really versatile. Okay, so let's go for number 7. This is a little trefoil type affair here. All right, so again, take your flush cut end. And again, I'm using the first step on my plier. Such a quick flash video this, guys, so hopefully I'll try, you know what, I might even put chapters. I'll try, so when I'm editing, I'll put chapters in this and you can stop each chapter if you like. That'll give me something to do this afternoon. So put your flush cut end in your plier. Now I'm using the first step. Again, this is just ideas for you, so you can, you know, do whatever you like. So bend around like so. So we have a little P shape. All right. Place the same size plier, the first step, about 2 or 3 millimeters away from where that hoop finishes. You see that? Hopefully that's focusing. And then bend your wire around and over the top. So you have this. You see that? And that way, what we want to do is do the same thing, 2 to 3 millimeters away from where this hoop finishes. And we want to go underneath this time, like so. And there we have our little, I'm not sure if they call it a trefoil. I think it's what it's called. And just want to put a little angle on it. So that's number 7. All right, they're really, really effective actually for certainly for larger beads, because when you pop your bead on, the bead nestles just in the top. Can you see that? That's really, really pretty for an earring. And then if you want to dangle 3 briolets off here, you can do. In fact, that looks really, really pretty. And a little bit of jangle in your ear, if that's what you like. I quite like a bit of jangle. So that's number 7. No, it's not, that's number 8. Number 9, let's go for this one. All right, so you take your scrap wire. Now, I use these pliers for this one because I have a little mark on my plier, a little notch here. All right, so I use that as my size. I didn't put the notch there. The notch went there of its own volition because I obviously marked my pliers by mistake one day. So if you want to come in with a Sharpie, you're going to need to do this design with an equal side, okay, as near as you can. So I place it here. So you will have a little Sharpie mark here, and you bend it like so. So you have this. Place it back on your mark and bend it like so. And then place it on your mark again and bend it like so. And then just give everything a little bit of a squidge around so everything looks relatively equal. So you have this. And then all you want to do is bend this wire so it sticks upwards for obvious reasons. So you come in and there you have your little sort of squarish thing. Again, all of these are artisan created, so it doesn't matter to me that they're not exactly exact every time, which is a good job really, because things very rarely go to plan. And then I give these a hammer, excuse me, because I just like the hammered look on these kind of things. Plus the fact, if you're going to suspend a bead off here, if you hammer this design, along with quite a lot of the designs, if you give them a bit of a gentle hammer, it work hardens the wire. Okay, so it gives it more stability, which means that you can suspend things off without worrying about this guy moving. So that's number 9. And the last one in this little short series of 10 cute little designs here, I will give you a bonus design at the end. We'll do a knotted one, shall we? Yeah, why not? Okay, so this is just a little heart. All right, so this is a cute one too. So let's just have a look at a couple of beads on here. So yeah, so you know, you could put like 3 or 4 beads and that would make a really, really pretty earring, wouldn't it? These guys are perfect actually if you are doing fairs, you know, jewellery fairs. Earrings made from little cute head pins like this sell extremely well because they're very affordable for your clients, and they look really, really pretty, don't they? So let's make this one. Now for me, this is probably going to be a little bit too short. So if you've got some longer cut-offs, that's probably better. So let me just create a longer cut-off here, which you know, you do get quite often, don't you? So let's make this one. So again, come in with your smallest step on your plier and your flush cut side. Pop that there. So you come in and make a little loop like so. And then come in with your plier like so to make this angle here. All right. So I'm going to say about here. So we have this. So you're essentially making a heart shape. All right. So I come back in with my plier and bend things around. The plier, move things about a little bit. This is where you just use your judgment and use your hands, use your tools. Just bend things around a little bit, all right? It needs to come out a little bit more, obviously, like so. So essentially you want to make this sort of heart shape, but you want your long piece of wire to come down the bottom where the point of the heart is. So if you want to move things around a little bit, that's fine. All right, can you see how that works? So it's just about using your hands as tools, use your tools as tools. And just experiment. All right, so what we want to do now is to bend this guy and fold it over. We want this guy here to come out this way. So at the very, very bottom, take your plier and bend like so. Bend it over. Keep bending. And bend and bend and bend. And then just come in very gently with your chain nose and squeeze. So what you're aiming for is for that bend, that loop, to be at the bottom of the heart. Can you see how that works? Now, because you have a little gap here at the bottom, you can, if you like, suspend a briolette or something, or some beads off that little loop at the back. Can you see that? Okay, you can. So that's our next one. Actually, I could have done with slightly less wire, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter at all. All right, so there's our little heart decorative head pins. All right, so have a play about, and I hope you've enjoyed watching the this pretty quick hoofing along little video, but it will give you guys some ideas as to you know, what to do with some head pins and what to do with some scraps of wire. In actual fact, really, really great way of making some really pretty things out of your scraps. Okay, so enjoy, and I'll be back in a second and I will give you a bonus knotted head pin tutorial. All right, so I'll be back in a few. Okay, my lovelies, here's our very quick and fun bonus little knotted head pin. So I think that this works best with 0.6, 0.7 millimeter wire, and all the wires that I'm using today actually are soft, so I'll put that in the description for everyone. So you need to take a length of wire, not too short because this is actually probably too long. This is why I make a lot of head pins, and because I use a little bit too much wire, but hey ho. So you take your very, very narrow, if you have them, or the end of your round nose, and place the wire thus. And then you want to just wind it around and make a very small spiral. All right, like so. So I've gone round here, round this spiral 2 times. So 1 and then 2. You see that? And then what you want to do is, with the end of the short end of the wire facing upwards and the long wire at the bottom facing to the left or the right, if you're left-handed, obviously reverse what I'm doing. Bend this wire upwards, like so. You see that? Then what you want to do is bend this wire around. Yeah, I've got loads too much wire here. I could probably make 2. All right, and push the wire through the little loop that we've got. Then what we want to do is grasp and pull, like so. Now, I usually use my, what they call nylon jaw pliers to pull this part. But, you know, if you've got strong hands, then you should be fine. If you haven't, then grab your nylon jaw. And as you can see here, it makes a really cute little knot at the end. And I'll show you how that looks with a bead. So I'll just get one of these gorgeous green agate beads, little cubes, and I'll show you how that looks. All right, so pop that on and then squeeze the bottom of the bead so that you have, there you go. So how pretty is that? So again, you could just suspend that, you know, make a wire wrap loop at the top. In fact, let's do that and let's suspend it from one of these. So simple wire wrap loop, very, very pretty and very effective. So we wind that round. So let's choose one of these guys to suspend it from. Shall we use the heart? What do you think? So essentially you just pop that on. Let's have a think. Let's use this one, shall we? I like this guy. I think it's really, really effective, really pretty. Okay, pop that on there. Hold and wind your wire around. I like to make it a little bit scrappy. You can do it how you like. So we'll cut that off. Round about here. Give that a squish, tidy everything up. Beautiful, see? Look how that looks. So you could very, very easily make some really, really gorgeous earrings from these head pins. And just put a simple loop on that and then suspend it from an ear wire. All right, so there are actually 10 and then plus 1. So I hope you enjoy making these, guys. Let me know how you get on in the comments and let me know what you're making. All right, so I'll see you in my next video where we'll be making some bead weaving sort of stick type things. Which we'll be putting into necklaces and earrings, all right? And you'll know what I mean when I put the picture up. So have fun, and I'll just remind you that I do have a private Facebook group, which I will put the link to in the description box. So if you want to come and have a bit of fun with, we've got over 300 people in there now, I think, actually, and they're all wonderful, and it's a very safe place to be. And we're all just very supportive, I think the word is. All right, so have fun, and I will see you in my next video when I will stop rambling and you guys will be getting sick of hearing my voice. All right, so I'll speak to you soon. Bye, guys.